what's actually happening. Okay. It's alive. Yeah, I'm so bad at maintaining my Discord. That's good. That's great. Yeah, I don't know. My Discord's really quiet, but I don't think people mind too much. There's so many Discords. It does. Oh boy. Well, they're here in the background. I hope they're not listening to us over there. Alright, you want to just go live? We can just go live.
Here we go. Hey, everyone.
We're all live now. Jordan from Goose Poop Games. And who do we have tonight?
Hello, everyone. I am Arclight Court. I am your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Rider, Beacon onto all beacons. I'm a TTRPG content creator, game designer, and writer, affectionately known as the Power Rangers guy in the actual play space.
Nice. Why?
One of my biggest actual plays that I GM'd for was the Power Rangers TTRPG for the Initiative Order back in 2023 into 2024, called Arcanites. And it performed so well that we were the #1 recommended Power Rangers actual play on YouTube over Renegade Games' live in-person series that they ran for their own game for almost 3 years running. So it just stuck. You're the Power Rangers guy. You are the Power Rangers guy. And it's just been that way since.
That's great. I love that. Did you run it? Like, were you the GM?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was right when it was first announced. I had reached out to the other project managers in the Initiative Order about running it. And I was just going to do like a little short series, really Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like coded, all of that.
Okay.
And it evolved into, oh, we're going to get you some of these very well-known AP performers to be on the cast for this. And we want it to be about a season, maybe 2 seasons, if you're okay with that. And I was like, yeah, 100% okay with that. I love Power Rangers. We had Alec Lockman. We had Brendan O'Brien, a poet and writer from Trinidad and Tobago. Eclipse 613. Story Continued or Page Continued, Crimson Galaxy, Hamasama-kun, just a whole litany of performers that were a part of it. And it ran for almost 30 episodes over 2 years long. Wow. And we played with the system in its early rendition as they released the book, when they released their first expansion. So we were learning everything at the same time everyone else was. And just doing our best. But it was an amazing story. It was so much fun. I love Power Rangers, if that wasn't apparent.
There you go.
But it was one, just like a dream come true to tell a Power Rangers story that you create all your own, and to have the cast that I had and the people that were a part of it who were just as committed and involved with the whole story and the mythos, that it was just, you could tell why it performed the way it did, because everybody loved it.
That's great. Yeah. Man.
So
did
did you
like
did
did
the
we're gonna talk just a little bit and then we'll go into
actual
did you like was it like origin story Power Rangers or is it just like
So it started, our group were freshman college students at Cal State Angel Grove. And one character, one of the players' characters was the nephew of Tommy, the Green Ranger from the original Power Rangers. And this, the first episode came out like 2 weeks after the passing of Jason David Frank. So it was even more emotionally invested at that point. Losing an idol and an icon in that space was such a big thing. It felt like it's all its own. Like these are new Rangers in a very familiar space for Angel Grove being the city from Mighty Morphin. But still, every once in a while, we had small homages to like Wild Force, where the floating turtle island. Where did that island come from? Oh, there's a turtle-shaped lake just outside of Angel Grove, and that's where that island came from. Billy was a professor at Cal State Angel Grove that one of the players was very well connected to, and like there was weaves of all of the various seasons into it, but you could, with no knowledge of Power Rangers whatsoever, watch that series and understand the base level of Power Rangers, high concepts of Power Rangers, theoretical physics and fourth dimensional mathematics of Power Rangers in there. There was so much available to it. I like Power Rangers.
That's great. I love it. I like that you like Power Rangers. This is really good. We shall transition over to your games. You got games.
Yes, I got a lot of games. So many games.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with stuff that is out?
Let's start with stuff that's out.
Yeah, you were just talking to me about Pocket World Anthology. You want to go over that one?
My favorite. They're all my favorite. I just tell them they're my favorite when I'm talking about them. Pocket World Anthology. We have digital copies. We have physical copies. Pocket World Anthology started as writing exercises and creativity exercises on stream with my community and with my friends. Of you got 2 hours. You have to write a basic TTRPG. Dice mechanics, character creation, and like the bare minimum of lore or things of that nature for a game. And that's all you have. Everything else is you can reach out to somebody and go, oh, give me a topic. Give me what dice are we using? D6s, D10s, D12s. Are we using only D4s, but only the 3 on the dice matters? What's the vibe? And then it continued. We started with the first game was Turning by Dusk, which is a vampire survival TTRPG experience, as I like to call them.
Okay.
The player is playing a person who is just turned. The sun has just set. You were turned by some ancient vampire, some new vampire, some guy just passing through New Orleans with the name of Louis. And you awaken to your first hunger. Survive to sunrise. Find a place to hide. Set your resting place. Feed for the first time. Discover all of the abilities that come with whatever type of vampire you are. In that one, we gave 3 different types of vampires you could be, like the Nosferatu, the basic, sexy, blood-sucking vampire, or the emotional, psychic vampire, as the 3 different forms. Depending on which one, the more your hunger grows, you unlock specific powers to that type of vampire you are. And the whole goal is to survive to sunrise. Feeding, hiding, figuring things out, making decisions. And then grew from there into, hey, what if we made a TTRPG about Metabots? What if we made one about Balatro? What if Balatro was a dungeon crawl? And every time you failed in Balatro, you restarted, kept the cards that you gathered the whole time, but the monsters got deadlier. How about if you're driving a car and it's possessed by a supernatural spirit and you're doing drift races and drag races? Fast and the Furious meets Beyblade, essentially.
Yeah.
What if we make something like that? And that slowly became Pocket World Anthology. All of the games inside.
That's great. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite? Because there's a few.
There's really something for everybody in Pocket World Anthology. They're all fairly simple systems. All of them at the most use 2 dice of specific size, whether it's D10s, D8s, D6s, whatever the case may be. I like spells. I like magic. I like super, working with teams and allies. Grimoire Vassal, I think, is one of my favorites from in there. Very similar to Zatch Bell, if you remember that anime from like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
The little spooky doll kid spell book. There's one with a horse, a kid with a duckbill mouth, and they're all like wizard familiars, and you're fighting alongside them. Again, one of the, hey, here's this very obscure early 2000s anime, make a game out of this for me.
Yeah. Well, now we gotta make like a Code Lyoko.
I'm not confirming or denying that might be in volume 2.
Gotta be in there.
There were so many that were brought up after what we're calling volume 1 now. After volume 1 was finished, that people were like, what if you made one where it's like Dragon Ball Z, but it's only in the hyperbolic time chamber? Like you're training for a really big fight. What does that kind of TTRPG look like? Knowing that the end of this game is the big fight and you're building up your power and abilities. What about Dot Hack, where we just go online and play avatars and it's like, how do you have a person character sheet and then your online character that you're playing and those relationships? There's a few things that will be in volume 2.
What if it's like Bloons Tower Defense, but like a TTRPG?
But Blue's Clues also at the same time. that has been the conversations.
How can we bring back Flash but not actually just play a TTRPG?
Exactly.
I love it. That's great. What was the trickiest one to come up with? To
piece together Cartel, the Balatro styled TTRPG.
Okay. What was the tricky part?
How do you make poker work as a in-game mechanic, an in-world mechanic? Like we see a lot of artwork, especially when it comes to like Dungeons and Dragons, where characters have like the D20 as a form of their magic. We see like the fireball thrown out of somebody's hand and you can see a trail of D6s off the back of it. Yeah. And that is artistic interpretation, but it is something that, well, it makes sense. We, outside of this world, playing in this world, catch those little nuanced things to it. How do I make a poker hand make sense in a TTRPG? And I feel like I came up with a really quick and easy way to do that. The combat in Cartel is standard D6. I roll a D6, the dealer rolls a D6. Whoever is higher wins that round of combat. If I lose, I don't get to draw a card. If I win, I get to draw a card. I am building a poker hand. I'm trying to make the best possible poker hand I can, because at the end of the dungeon, I face the house. I play my hand. The house draws 7 cards from the top of the deck and makes the best hand they can from those 7 cards. If I win, you win the game. You win the session tonight. If you lose, you restart back to the beginning. Yeah. But now you have 2d6 against the monsters. The monsters have 1d6. And now instead of just getting a card when you beat a monster, you can discard one and swap it and build your hand specifically to where when you finally face him, you can have, a royal flush, in hand. You can have all 4 aces and win the game. So there is a semblance of, there is an end to this, but how many times are you going to die?
Yeah.
Shuffle like your hand, change everything.
Roguelike kind of. Mm-hmm. Nice.
And so making that make sense in a 2-hour time span with people in my chat going, oh, hey, you missed a page. And then me shuffling back and going, wait, hold on. Where did I miss a page? I'm so confused, because my community also likes messing with me in that way when we're doing that. They're like, oh, you forgot page 0, and I don't see 0 at the end of it. I was like, what page? What's missing? Did I delete something on accident? Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then realize they've been messing with me for the last 10 minutes.
That's great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was thinking, because I just released, just launched Food and Evil, so backer kit and stuff, and that's card based. And like when we first started, we were like trying to use different kind of card games to play the game and stuff. So we were like, okay, this, if you want to do an easy move, you just do like war or something, and you flip the top card. And then if you want to do like a more tougher move, you play goldfish and stuff. And then we were like, and then for the final boss, you get a poker hand. But have you ever heard of it's a board game called The Gang?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, if people don't know, it's a cooperative poker game. So you're all placing like, I think one card at a time.
Yeah, one. I think it's either the first person or the last person gets a chance to play 2.
Yeah,
that might have been a home
like that.
I think that was our own home rule.
That might be a home rule.
I think our home rule is the first person who plays a card after everyone else has played, they can either take their card and put a better one or put an additional one.
Yeah. An echo. The nasty echo. I don't know why it's echoing. But now you get to hear us multiple times. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. It's like a chorus of excitement and design conversation.
I don't know. I don't hear it on my phone stream, so I don't know. You might be crazy. I'm just kidding. No. Yeah. So and then we were like, this is complicated. I think over the years of game designing, I've realized when you start cutting things, that's when you're nearing completion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're like, why did we add this? I don't know.
Just get rid of it. Find any mention of this in the rest of it and just throw it away right now.
Yeah.
That was definitely, when we get to the currently unreleased game, I could go more in depth with that, because I threw in I thought I stripped a game down to its bare essentials and was going to rebuild it, and just made an entirely brand new game.
Yeah. hold on.
He's perfectly fine.
You said that was Vocarium,
Vocarium.
right? Yeah, let's talk about that one. Here,
I'm sorry, I just realized why it's echoing. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Okay, yeah, let's go into it.
Vocarium. My favorite, obviously, because I'm talking about it right now. Vocarium started as a game called Magi Veil of Mana. I made a new dice system ? For it, and continued to build more on top of that and on top of that and on top of that. I worked on that specific game for close to 3 years. It was equal parts The Last Witch Hunter, I Am Number 4, and like noir occult magic is the best way I can describe that.
Those are all great things.
It was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I put so much time and so much effort and so much love and so much of my own self into the game that I kept getting ready to release it, or at least play test it, and then would immediately get scared of what if people don't like it? What if somebody doesn't understand why it leans this way instead of this? What if they don't understand it? And I'm maybe I need to simplify it. Maybe I need to build more off of it. I was so afraid of any kind of criticism because this was my baby. And as a father, this is my baby I love. Do not want any harm, any negative, any bad.
Don't be mad at my baby.
I would get right to play test, right to, okay, we're just going to release it. We're just going to put it out there. We're just going to let people play it. And then, but let me not do that. Maybe I need to work on it just a little bit more. Maybe I need to spend another 3 months reorganizing where everything goes. And during that time, a great deal of wonderful creatives who are more family than friends at this point. I had been the advocate to them of just release it. Just put it out there. I'm looking at it. I love it. It's put together. It flows very well. Everything's explained very good. Even if I didn't like this style or flair of gaming, I would give this a shot because of how well it's put together. And each and every single one of them looked at me and said, your turn.
Okay, now
do the thing now. You've said 13 times now that you're releasing this. And I'm like, yeah, but the 14th time it'll make even more sense. And the consistent point was, you love this so much that you're afraid other people aren't. So just put it away. Just put it away. Take what you need from it, what you like from it, and rebuild. Start again. You have a foundation now. You're not starting from zero. And build off of that. And so I took the magic system that I had built for that game, and I was like, okay, this is where I will start. And it became something completely different than what MVOM or Magi ever was. Vocarium is, in all of the best ways, the scariest, most role play bleeding and impactful game I have ever played, I have ever run, I have ever seen, I have ever experienced, and I spent all of the time in the world making this, and it still surprises me to this day of all the things with it.
Yeah.
It uses no dice, absolutely no dice at all. It uses a blind wagering system. To take a quicker step back,
Yeah.
Vocarium is the catch line for it, elevator pitch. Your words have power. Everyone's words have power, and not just the power to affect someone else's opinion. Your words can literally shape reality or break reality or change the perception of reality. What weight comes with that? What response does reality have to that? Because as you breathe, reality does. There are a great deal of philosophical and ethical conversations that can be had in the world of Vocarium. There are people who believe that speaking the first language or utterances and lexes, that is magic. That is the first magic. That is what is talked about. You say fireball, you cast fireball, a ball of fire appears. There are other people in the world who say, no, this is the language of reality. This is the zeros and ones that code everything we see. This is that first sound from the Big Bang. This is what created the universe. The sound wave after that explosion is carried forward. That was the first language. That was the first word that was spoken and created everything. And from there grew as language grew and mutated and became more. So there's this dichotomy that already exists in the philosophy of the world of what is even what people are doing. How do we quantify this? How do we explain this? Your character uses your breath to speak these words as you do in the real world. You have to breathe in and breathe out to speak and respond.
Uh-huh.
Your breath is a finite pool. There's some characters who you allocate points a certain way, and you can have 20 points of breath. There are other people who can allocate their points to where they only have 5. And that is like the bare minimum you could have is 5.
Okay.
When you are speaking the utterances or the lexes, it's 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words. The more words, the more concise, the more specific, the more perfectly described reality you want to be observed, to exist, to happen.
Okay.
For each word, you wager a breath. Then you can wager up to 3 more points of breath. So maximum of 4 to 6 points of breath to speak something into reality, to make everyone else, including yourself, perceive light being the word you're speaking. The room is illuminated. You've spent that point of breath. The room now has light. You wager X amount. The curator, GM, storyteller, then from a world breath pool decides, is reality going to reject this? How much would reality fight back against this being the observed, this being what happens in this moment? The curator then wagers what reality would fight back against. Once both sides have completed their wager, the curator cannot change what they have wagered. but they can offer the player or the vocalist, would you like to increase your bid by 1 or decrease your bid by 1? And that's the only time after it's been declared, okay, I'm done, that it can be changed. Once that decision has been made, the world reveals, then the player reveals. If the player succeeds, what they have spoken is reality. That is what happens. If they said light, there is now a light floating in this room, or the light in the room now works if it was previously broken.
Yeah.
If they said broken door, that could mean quite a few things. The broken door in the room could be reforged back together. The door that was completely whole could be shattered. The pathway between two places, whether it be a freeway or something of that nature, is now broken. There is no way to move between one room to the other. The second aspect to it is not just the word you're using, but the meaning behind it. Like, I'm saying silence, but I don't mean just for this person to be quiet. I mean, I want the whole room to be deafeningly quiet. Like, no one can hear in this space. Well, how much of your breath are you willing to wager for that effect to take place? And now the world is responding by going, no, you can't just make everyone in this room deaf. That is not, they have known reality outside of that. This is how the world is going to fight against that. And it's this balance back and forth between language and meaning and intent and sacrifice to see the reality you want to exist over the reality that's being forced upon you.
Yeah. Do people have like certain like goals they're trying to achieve?
There's a lot of this is
like, it depends on the character.
In the world, there are multiple groups. It's hard to even call them factions. Some can be defined as cults, some can be defined as religions, some can be corporations, some can even be defined as thought experiments. But your character knows that they exist, that they are real. But to the rest of the world, this is just an idea. This is a what if. There's no way the Illuminati is real because what? No way. But no, they're an actual real group of people, and every word they speak, it reinforces and changes reality, and the world can't fight against it. Players have full agency to the background of their character.
Okay.
And not just in a mechanical sense, but also in the world lore wise as well. There is options to play a vocalist who just discovered their voice, who just discovered that they could do this. There are options to play characters who've been doing this since birth. There are options to play characters that this is their fourth or fifth reality that they've experimented within because they've been doing this for so long that they've jumped and hopped between parallel universes and quasi-dimensional rifts. There's so much. My brain gets so fantastical when talking about this because there's so many different interpretations of what is going on in this world. You can look at it from a purely scientific standpoint, a philosophical standpoint, a high magical standpoint, a eldritch horror reality warping standpoint to it. Genuinely my favorite game. But players have the capability of being and responding to the world in full agency, because everything is based on the words you choose to say, the way you choose to interpret reality, the way you choose to respond to the words and actions and things around you. It's not just a mechanical, I started with Dungeons and Dragons. I have a pure nostalgia love for Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not just like I'm an elf, so I know the elven ways, and that is how I was raised and learned the world. Is no, this takes place in 2026. You have a cell phone. If you want to look something up because you don't understand what's going on here, go ahead, pull your cell phone out. You tell me what you're putting in Google search, and we will.
Yeah.
In the real world, Google exactly what you would find in this world. And there's even in the system itself, I can't wait to send you a copy of it too. There is, I didn't want it to just be so focused on like the psychological or dark aspects of changing one's perception of reality on literally just a word spoken, that there's even built into the system, if you're looking for a more fantastical exploration of words and the power of them, here is a set list of parameters to use if this is what you're looking to experience with this. If you're looking for more of a thriller, like psychological responsive, call and response to trauma type game, here are the boundaries in which to work through. If you're looking to really experience some player character bleed through RP of, call and response to trauma and the depths of trauma and what weight words actually carry for not only you but the character you're playing as well, here's some guardrails and safety tools for running that kind of game as well. There is so many safety tools I've included in this for those good specific things as well. There is a whole chapter and a half in specific of like, if someone has stated that they do not want these words used against them, they are cut from the world's dictionary. That means the player can't use them, the curator can't use them, other players can't use them, NPCs can't use them. It is just a no-go, this is not allowed kind of response.
Right.
It is, I love it so much, but every time I've run it so far, every time I've played it, every time I've sat down with my friends and community members to explore this game, I wrote this and I am surprised with the responses and the creativity and the things that are within it every single time I've run it.
That's
because
great.
The aspects and positions that people can take with, how can I use one word to change this entire room?
Yeah. So I'm wondering how it feels like to play. Like, would the player say the word and then explain it? Like, are we talking through things or is it very silent? Okay.
So we are in the cases of vocal duels, which in Vocarium can only happen one-on-one. Arguments or conversations of that level can only be a one-on-one thing. This isn't a 4 or 5 people forcing their reality on one person and vice versa in that aspect.
Yeah.
The vocal duels are the combat system of the game. It's only 1-to-1. Either I'm going to change your mind or you're going to change mine, whether that's through changing reality, changing my perspective, removing my perspective, redefining my perspective, and whatever case that may be. How can you do that in 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words? Then, what is the intention behind these words? You can't just go, my 3 words are blah, blah, blah. And my intention is to drown out every thought and thing and idea in his mind. That's not words. That's not words. Your intention is great, but give me 3 words that mean that. How quiet the ignorance could be the 3 words. And you're trying to remove the opinionated aspects of their point of view and force them to acknowledge the facts of a scenario, or delete from existence. And this person now no longer is a part of this reality, no longer ever was a part of this reality, and you were just up here talking to yourself the whole time. That was never a thing. But the other person has the opportunity to respond back.
Yeah.
What I wager versus what you wager. How much of my breath am I willing to spend convincing you of my reality? And how much of your breath are you willing to spend to convince me of yours?
Yeah.
And then we have that dialogue. These are the words I'm using. This is my intention. This is what I'm wagering. This is what this person is. These are the words this person is using. These are the intention behind the words. This is what this person's wagering. If it's PvP, which can happen, we've all played every TTRPG that is out there. If combat is available, somebody's fighting somebody else's character at some point in time. If it's PvP, I write down or move my tokens forward for however many I'm bidding. You do the same with yours. I don't reveal until the curator asks us both. Do you want to increase by 1 or decrease by 1? And then once that's done, I reveal I wagered 7. Well, I wagered 6 because that's all I had left. That was the last of my breath. Okay. My reality becomes our reality.
Yeah.
What I have spoken is what is. And now, as you have run out of breath and lost this duel, you have now attained echo, which is the negative aspect of this. This is the reverse hit points of this system. You can get up to a maximum of 10 points of echo. Echo is the bleed of the former reality that you no longer experience, that you no longer are perceiving. Whatever was removed, changed, or taken away, you are still experiencing the echoes of. Once you reach 10 points of echo, you rejoin the lexicon, you rejoin the reality, you rejoin the language, the utterance. Your character dies. But in that same aspect, I am a very RP forward person. I feel like we have gotten to a point in a lot of TTRPGs where RP has trumped mechanics for the most part, and mechanics have become more of a tool for role playing instead of role playing being the tool for mechanics.
Yeah, I feel aspect. I feel, at least to me personally, making mechanics for a role-playing game is just to get the person to do stuff.
Yep. If I go, you could just do whatever you want, everyone's gonna go, well, I stay here. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like spit fire.
Yeah, but what about this? Yeah, it's always like, for example, I have one game called Black Flies where everybody plays as cultists haunting a small town, and it's really fun. And I have everybody, like, I gave everybody secret objectives because you're all actually working against each other, and then there's like a point system for the ending and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then if you play through it and then you count up the points and stuff, you start to notice, hey, we all kind of got the same number of points. I'm like, yeah,
weird, huh?
It's weird. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Known that would happen.
Did you have a good time though?
Your evil god is equally as happy with all of you. Have a great night. Thank you guys for playing. But in Vocarium, player death has something more tied to it, especially if your death is through attaining the maximum number of echo. You get to leave a law. You get to leave a sentence that becomes a law in the universe that your characters are playing in now. So as your character passes, attaining the maximum echo, what are their last words? The answers you're looking for in your dreams. That sentence now becomes a law in this universe. If you can't figure out a problem, if you can't solve a situation, if you don't know what the next step is, it is a law that the curator has to keep track of. It's all in the system.
Yeah.
It is a law now that once that character goes to sleep and is looking for an answer, they will receive an answer in their dreams. And that carries forward.
That's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite mechanic there.
In almost every actual play I've been a part of, I've been the volunteer for all of the GMs of like, if you want to kill somebody, kill me. I'm totally cool with it. I'm down for dying for the story. I'll commit to the bit. You got it. I wanted death to be more than just an emotionally impacting thing for the players.
Yeah.
Death should be world defining. At least for the perceived reality of the people that you're with and you share this world with. If someone I was very close to that's been a part of my world for 30 plus years passed away, my reality is different now. My perception of the world is different now. And so how do we make that an actual mechanic in a TTRPG? We make their death matter. What they say is now a law to reality. What they spoke is now forever true. That cannot be changed. It cannot be broken. It cannot be taken away. That is the mark that they're leaving for everyone else.
Yeah.
And Ray, I see you in there. It's only happened a handful of times. You can't prove it otherwise.
That's really cool. Yeah. So does that mean when that player wants to play, they'll just be another?
They make a brand new vocalist. They can take on an NPC that they've interacted with previously. They can even go as far as creating. Again, it gets into the fun, like metaphysical, scientific, quasi-science aspects of everything.
Yeah.
If you are no longer recognized by reality, but people remember you, did you ever exist?
Oh, yeah.
So you have the opportunity to play the same character. You can, but without having to write Junior on the side of it and say, I'm avenging my father. You could play the same character because reality is still acknowledging that you existed. Your last words became a law, but now this is the new version of you. The other players, the other people in this world who knew the old version of you still know that old version of you. You don't know these people. You've never met these people before. This is a whole new life for you. But you'll never forget those words. You'll never forget being able to speak and suddenly the room is a little warmer, or it getting a little quieter, or being able to step out of any conversation that you were done having with someone else. That one time you went to start your car and you just said, please, and it just turned over, and it wasn't that whole previous time beforehand. And you could play a new version of that same character, but it is this reality's version.
Yeah.
Not the previous, this new version. It's a lot of, again, there's a lot of like philosophical pseudoscience aspects to it. And I think a large portion of my love and attachment to not only the magic system, not only the perception of it, everything is I am a father to special needs babies. I've got I have 3 children. My oldest is by far an amazing blessing into our lives. She is so far above and beyond her age in wisdom and intellect and empathy. My 2 youngest are autistic and on very far separate sides of the spectrum. My youngest, my son, is nonverbal. The weight of words, like, you don't understand how important being able to explain something to someone else or present your intent or your meaning or your heart or pain or things of that nature when you don't have the words to do so, or you can't find the words to do so. And that was a very early realization in developing this game of why I felt it was so important, is because there is a chance that my youngest won't ever find the words to say these things.
Yeah.
But I can always feel his intent. I can always tell, even in, small gestures, there is a language there. It's just not one that you can hear. I can tell when he's happy. I can feel when he's excited. I can almost like internally feel fear and sadness when he's experiencing that. There is a language, there is intention behind those things, and I'm able to interpret that because I've spent so much time in his world with him that I can understand, and we can communicate, and we can share that connection, even if my reality is different from his reality. And that became even more of a driving force into, now I don't want this to appear as fantastical magic. I also don't want it to appear as you have to be able to speak English in order for this to be effective. No. This is the first language of the universe. It can sound however you want it to sound. It can be whatever you want it to be. Sign language. It can be Morse code through blinking eyelids. It can be just a will of emotion pressed forward. And you are communicating with reality. And I wanted to convey that into everything that was a part of this. And I feel like I've done it. I feel like I've gotten there, even with it being I typically market it as an occult thriller, but it's really more of a psychological and a philosophical dive into the power of communication and acknowledgement of intent and meaning between you and the world around you. I love this game. It's my favorite.
Yeah. So what are you planning with it? What's the plan?
The plan is, currently I go through a printing and I go through a printing company for physical copies of all of my books.
Yeah.
We can get print on demand done for the paperback versions of the book tomorrow if we wanted to. We can get it out there tomorrow. It is complete. The game is complete. I made a promise that I wasn't going to release the book until I could get hardcover books together for it. To get the printing starting for that, I have to put in the first order I put in has to be 100 books or more. 100 copies or more. So there's a goal on our Ko-Fi to order 100 physical hardcover copies of the game to kick off the printing run of all of the hardcover books.
Yeah.
Once we reach that goal on my Ko-Fi to do so, I'm giving all 100 of those copies out completely for free. The first 100 copies, the first 100 hardcover copies are being given out for free. I'm sending you a copy. I'm sending people in my community's copy. I'm sending people
That's
that
a
I
lot.
serve the military with copies. I don't care. I want to send it to everybody. I want to make it open and available because I put it, my philosophy after Magi, locked in a vault, love you, stay over there, you'll never leave. After Magi is I just want to put it in your hands. The moment I put it in your hands and you get the opportunity to run it for somebody or experience it and then talk to someone else about it.
Yeah.
That other person is really going to want to read whatever book that is you were just talking about. They're going to want to play the game that you were just talking about. And maybe you're not able to run it for them because you really want to play it, but you don't want to run it. They're going to go buy a copy of it. And they're going to talk to somebody that they know and be like, hey, I really want to play this game. And somebody eventually is going to go, I'll run it, but I don't have the book. I will buy you the book. It happened to me.
Wow. Yeah.
I want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I'll run it for you, but I don't have the books. Cool.
I got all of them.
My D&D group bought me every 5th edition book as it came out to build on our own world lore for our homebrew world every time a new book came out.
That's crazy.
And that was
what a group. What a great group.
That was the exchange. Was like, I'll keep running it. I'll keep DMing it.
Wow.
New book came out.
Boom.
Oh, hey, here's Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. The week before it was in Barnes and Noble, our local game store had it on their shelf. They had it a week before everyone else. They went and picked it up. I didn't even know it was coming out yet. So I got a new book before the new book existed, and I could ask for it.
Here you go.
But eventually you'll show it to somebody, or you'll talk about it with somebody, or you'll share an idea of this game with somebody, and they're gonna go, that sounds really interesting. I wanna read it. I want to get my own copy.
I have some people who would be very interested in this kind of thing. Yeah. Wait.
There is a one shot that is on YouTube. It's called Static Silence.
Okay.
I'll send it to you in our message
send me
so you can check it out.
So I can put it on the VOD as well when I upload this.
There is a one shot that I ran with Official Pie Guy, Eclipse 613, and Shadow Dow. 3 again creatives that are more family than friends at this point in time in my life. I had to stop myself from crying while describing scenes and situations and the world's response to things. It is beautifully dark in all of the best ways. There is talks of losing a partner. There's talks on the weights of AI to human interaction. All of this happens in this one little one shot, mind you.
Yeah.
The city of Detroit is going to go completely silent and possibly no longer exist in this reality. They face off against an occultist who believes that the first language that vocalists use comes from God, and this is the Knights Templar trying to use the gospel of the Lord as a weapon to control. It touches in all of these things in the darkest but most beautiful ways that don't feel like you're not hurting yourself experiencing them, but you are seeing the shadows in the room without having to step into it yourself.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can describe that. It is so beautiful. It is powerful. There's a line that I say in there that almost broke me, and I was able to stop myself, is you are now aware of what happens when you say no to reality. And in the context of the moment of that sentence, it is both heavy but breathable. Like you feel that weight on your shoulders, but you can exhale because you get it, you understand in that moment. Oh, it was so good. And again, I've run it several times, and each time it was something, it was completely different with each group that I ran it with. And so experiencing all of the different responses to those things was like, oh, I made this, and I'm still not ready if I'm ready for this, but I'm gonna do it.
But it's all written, it's all ready to go, right?
It is 100% complete. It is
great.
230 pages, but that includes like our forward, table of contents.
230 pages?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
It was
size.
230 pages digest.
Oh,
5
okay.
by 8.
Yeah, that's a great.
I like this size. It's a feel good size.
It's a handy size. Yeah,
it's not going to break your shelves.
Right.
It's not gonna use
I was worried, like, yes, 230 pages, and then I just hit you with like a break. Yeah. Oh. No, that's great.
But that is cut down from close to 500 pages. That is after going in and saying, like we were saying before, did we really need this? Why did we write this? Get rid of it. Delete it. It's done. We don't need this. It's extra. And when I started doing that is when I realized, okay, I might have wrote way too much at this point in time. And then started trimming away.
Yeah.
And I trimmed more of the forced lore out of it. Because again, I wanted that open to interpretation of what exactly are utterances. What are the lexes, the words used? Where did it come from? What is this? How does it come about? I've left in enough to where it is open for interpretation. Your players, even the curator, the person running the game, can interpret it as magic. This is magic. This is just what magic looks like in the modern day.
Yeah.
Your same high fantasy fireball, lightning bolt, haste, slow. It's the same thing, but this is just what it looks like now. It is open enough to where that's again the Big Bang. The first thing that tore through and started creating the universe was a sound wave. This is a part of that sound wave. This is that first word. Birth, origin, create, live, whatever that word was from that sound is the beginning of this proverbial first language. Is it just reality? Are you genuinely just so attuned to the frequency and wavelength and sounds of everything around you that you can find that frequency to force something to be? Yeah. Like the physics joke of you can push your hand into your desk 1,000 times and at 999 it'll go through the desk. Because your atoms will align at some point in time and then they'll phase into each other. I'm not going to do that, but that sounds really cool. And I want to do it. What if that is the interpretation of this? You are saying or vibrating energy, matter, molecules at such a specific frequency that you're seeing, observing, creating, destroying in this metaphysical way through a scientific explanation. I left just enough in there that it is open to interpretation. And it's even stated, feel free to interpret this however you want. But here's what is going on in the world. Here are the groups. This is their viewpoints. This is how they have interpreted this. This is what they believe. And you are free to move about and create from there. How does this work for you? How does this world work in your favor and in the player's favor? But I wanted to leave just enough for that. And so that was a vast majority of the cutting out, because it was like historical texts, hieroglyphics to language and how that works, texting. Can you text a utterance and lexes and use those on people?
Was that just becoming too minutia?
I was way too much minutia, but my brain just kept going. Of
like every
here are other ways you could use this. Oh, this would be so cool. What if the reason why everyone knew Elvis Presley's song is because he was using utterances in his songs, and that's why we have pop stars and one-hit wonders, is because they're infusing these words to their songs, and that's why it gets stuck in your head. And I was just building way more than I needed to, and I was like, oh, we'll just start trimming away.
So characters in this world, like, they could speak words, but then they could speak utterances? Is that... So,
utterances is the full sentence. Okay. It is the catch-all to everything. Lexes are 1, 2, 3 words. Lexes is just words. Utterances is the sentence.
Okay.
So a lex is like silent or light. A 2-word utterance or 2-lex sentence would be bright light. Room. A 3-word utterance or 3-lex sentence would be blinding bright light or that guy there.
Yeah. Thing. My question is, like, is that like an active kind of quote unquote spell? Like, can they still normally talk, or is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They can still normally talk. Players will always have the opportunity. Again, there's so much agency that is gifted to players in this, because again, it is marketed as an occult thriller, psychological horror TTRPG, that there has to be a level of freedom that is outside of other games that your players have to have. We can have a conversation, and in the middle of that conversation, I might go, okay, you should probably get some sleep. And I speak the word sleep. I'm going to spend 3 breaths. I'm saying sleep in the middle of that sentence to try and get this person to fall asleep. Okay. The world doesn't seem to respond. The world wagers nothing, because this is a reasonable thing that could happen. This is something that could take place.
Okay.
You succeed. That other person now, on hearing sleep, will go, I'm really tired. I think I am going to go to sleep. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
While they're asleep, I will speak into the room, leave, and I will spend 5 points of breath. World doesn't respond. Every other person in the room now turns on their heels and walks out of this space, and it's just you and your sleeping friend. I'm going to start, taking care of them, whether they have like a gash or, a tracker's been hidden in their jacket pocket, or they had too much to drink and saw me do something similar to this. I got to get them out of here, move them away. Utterances is just the catch-all for magical sentences. Lexes are the individual words.
Gotcha. Can you get breath? Or is it breath is finite?
So breath is you have a maximum amount of breath that comes from your resilience, brain focus. Breath comes from your focus stat. Resilience is how much you can stand against echo. Instinct is an active perception, investigation, awareness stat. Your maximum breath pool is the maximum amount you can have in a 24-hour cycle. Spend breath, you can regain breath back in moments of silence. These are your short rests, essentially, for the system. Regardless of going to sleep, from the first time you spoke Alex, the first utterance that you used, you do not regain breath, like your full breath, until 24 hours have passed. So if you wake up in the morning and you go until 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon before you use your first utterance or use your first lex, you can't regain your full amount of breath until 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow.
Oof.
You can take moments of silence. You can take those moments of silence and regain your resilience number worth of breath back. But that's only going to last so long.
Yeah.
And then once you run out of breath, you can still speak utterances and lexes, but for every word in that, you double your echo. So if you had no points, if you have 1 point of echo going into running out of breath, the first word you use after that gives you 2. The second word becomes 4. The third becomes 8. Once you reach 10, that's it. Reality refuses you. Reality reabsorbs you. Reality takes you back because you have created so much echo around you from forcing reality to respond in the way you want. So it is dangerous to speak utterances and lexes without breath. But if you need to, you can. You are just wagering that collapse. You're wagering that ending by doing so.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the ecosystem because it makes it so like there's like that near death, but it's like in a second phase. You know?
The way I've described it before is like Chronicles of Riddick or animes where you see the after image or the future image of what could be or what was or what can happen. You're experiencing those simultaneously to experiencing the moment. So you could hear a conversation that you would have had if you didn't do that thing before, or you're feeling that like burning sensation of being perceived when you don't know where it's coming from, because in this other reality you are being watched, like they are aware of you and you're experiencing that, but no one's around. These echoes of balance of you're no longer experiencing this reality, but this reality is still holding on to you being there.
Right. That's so interesting. Yeah. I feel like there's some movie that like deals with that. But I really enjoy you mentioning Chronicles of Riddick because more people need to talk about Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Riddick.
I love Chronicles of Riddick, and I want to make a TTRPG that's Chronicles of Riddick.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right, let's do it. Oh,
I just recently fell back in love with old vampire video game Blood Omen and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Oh yeah.
They're releasing a TTRPG called Nosgoth based on the world of that.
Oh wow.
And it's using the Morkborg system. I have never played in a Morkborg game. I don't know the system.
Yeah.
I am so far down the rabbit hole of lore from Blood Omen and Legacy of Kain that I just started making my own TTRPG for it.
Yeah, might as well.
It's already at like 60, 70 pages. It's not a lot, but I mean, I can't wait for them to release the game because I've waited for the Assassin's Creed TTRPG that was supposed to come out. I waited almost 3 years for the Power Rangers when it was supposed to be a 5th edition rip and then became the Essence 20 system. I just can't wait for other people to make my favorite games, so I'm making my favorite games now.
Yeah, just do it. You know what other IP that I've also been really contemplating about? Not in this dark theme, but Inspector Gadget. And I'm like,
yes,
why isn't there one? I need to make one, but I'm trying to like figure out how to make it so I avoid copyright, because I feel like if I mention gadget in the title, people are gonna be like, I don't know. I'm too small to really for anybody to really care, probably. But
the multifaceted investigator.
Well, I kind of want to do doohickey. So
there
it's
you
like,
go. There you go.
Inspector Doohickey.
Detective Doohickey. It's not Inspector Gadget.
Detective Doohickey.
Yeah.
Doohickey. Extendoscope. Oh my gosh, I'd love it. Okay, we're gonna make a Chronicles of Riddick TTRPG. We're gonna make a Go-Go Gadget, Inspector Gadget TTRPG. We're gonna make, what was the Blood Omen?
Blood Omen Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
That's
we're gonna
Soul
make
Reaver one.
Yeah.
But that one will end up being in my collection of won't release because IP fear games that I've made.
Yeah.
I made a Lantern Corps TTRPG from DC Comics, all of the Lantern Corps, everything. Specifically because one of my friends said, "Hey, I really want to play like a Green Lantern or like Gray Lantern, the sorrow or grief lantern that was introduced." But DC hasn't had a TTRPG since the 80s. And I don't want to learn such an old system that was super crunchy and very like math and dice, heavy. So I sat down and went completely above and beyond. I made a way to fuse lantern cores and batteries, how to create your own lantern core, what each one's capable of, what their constructs can do, did all of these things, and sent it out to the friend, and they're like, "Did you make this just for me?" I was like, "Well, I made it because I also want to play this, and I also want to do this." But very much so, you want to play a Green Lantern. Here is a game about playing as part of the Lantern Corps. Here's a way to do that.
Could you just make it like, just call them torches or something?
I have tried to find every possible workaround to it.
Call them torches.
And it doesn't ring right if it's
I know.
Not the Green Lantern.
Always gonna get
the Lantern
actual terms. That's why I'm worried about, like, I want to call the game Gadget, but it's like, that's just so close, and I'm afraid people are gonna dig it.
No. Which leads us, funnily enough, into my other book that we haven't gotten a chance to.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
Heroes, a tokusatsu TTRPG.
Well, let's do it.
Between you and me and all of these amazing people in chat and are going to watch the VOD here in the near future, this is my love letter TTRPG to Kamen Rider.
Okay, tell me about that.
I am introducing you to such a wonderful thing. Tokusatsu is the Japanese art, media, storytelling of the armored hero, the masked hero who sets out to save the world, save people by any means, in a heroic, just and honorable way. The first common rider fought a group called Shockers who wore red armbands, and that's the end of the definition we'll give there for safety reasons. And TOS, they fought against people who wore red armbands, and it was released by Japan, and actively fought against them and stood for justice, stood for honor, stood for protecting people by any means against evil and wrongdoing and things of that nature. It grew from there. Tokusatsu Kamen Rider is what gave us Super Sentai. Super Sentai is what gave us, in America, Power Rangers. That is the Japanese footage that was, cut and plugged into
it all comes
all
together.
all the American film pieces.
There we go.
There have been 3 attempts to bring Kamen Rider to the US as a TV series. The Masked Rider, which came out during the time of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, very short-lived, only 1 season. You had Big Bad Beetleborgs and VR Troopers, which were metal heroes, but still fall under the Tokusatsu banner of masked heroes.
Okay.
Those were, again, 1-2 seasons each, performed okay, but nothing near Power Rangers level in the Western audience. And then there was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight that came out in the early 2000s. There is horrible media. There are people who will tell you that they love movies like Velocipaster. Okay, and we know the reasons why they love Velocipaster, and it's not because the story's any good. Okay, it's just there's a nostalgia and a love for horrible media.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight did the best they could. Okay. They were trying so hard to make a story make sense without actively translating anything, without doing any in-depth research to what they were doing.
Oh, good.
So a lot of the acting comes across at a very low B tier, high C tier level.
Oh, so good.
But I love it. Okay, I love it. It is so good.
That also makes me think of like, Fred was telling me about this, but I forget what actual game. But like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes.
Where's this game?
Yes. Yes. Please, for the love of God, yes. But Heroes gives you the opportunity to tell, just like the Power Rangers TTRPG, tell your season of masked hero tokusatsu, a season. A lot of the system is reflective of that episodic monster of the week, drama in the real life bleeding into the hero life, and how does that balance out to beating the monster at the end of the day. Very customizable, actively customizable character creation with the weapons you use, the matrix, since I can't call it a belt buckle or a henshin device, is called a matrix. there's like branching trees of upgrades and abilities and things you can choose from in creating your character. Villains and enemy creation for the director or GM of the game is very simplified. You have grunts, elites, bosses, arch villains, and then evil heroes. It's just a stat block, and you plug in an ability from what abilities each one would have. Grunts get like swarm or overwhelming numbers. Elites will get call upon, call in the grunts or call in the cavalry.
Yeah.
Very simple stat blocks, so you don't have to go, well, the Manticore is on page 404, but I also need the poisonous snake.
Yeah, you don't want to look
7.
That just like holds up flow.
Here's a little block about this big on the page. You just go here. They got this ability. They look like this. Already has the health on there. Already has the dice you need. Lets you know everything. Bam, ready to go.
Yeah, so that's great.
Very streamlines the director's job there.
Yeah,
and then again, it's based on these Japanese superhero TV shows. So instead of advantage or disadvantage, we have flair, which is you doing something above and beyond. Doing the outstanding backflip that creates an explosion behind you in the same color as the costume that you're wearing. That is the advantage portion of the system. And then dramatics is the disadvantage. Do you see the classmate that told you were never a hero in the crowd as you're fighting, and that weighs down on you? So now you're rolling with dramatics instead of disadvantage.
Gotcha.
And they cancel each other out, but they stack as well. Because like any good hero story, you might see the guy in the crowd who said, you're not a hero. No one would believe that you're a hero. But then the little kid that you saved this morning from getting hit by a truck is out there, and he's holding up the little pin that you gave him off of your backpack, and that reinvigorates you. But that guy over there has figured out that you're the guy in the costume and is like, you're never supposed to. That should have been me. So you've got 2 points of dramatics and 1 point of flair. So these will cancel each other out. So now you're rolling with 1 point of dramatics. So roll your dice, take the lowest out of those two. And that's how we do it. But just like this helped me find the tone ranging for Vocarium and how to place in like system and mechanic themes to help with, do you want this to be more of a slice of life, like simple hero story that you want to do? These are the only mechanics you need to worry about then. Are you looking for more high action, high octane? We're talking, Vin Diesel jumping out of the car, punching the parking garage, it disintegrating underneath his punch in Fast and the Furious 9, and Jason Momoa falls out of the out of the helicopter, and he's got a RPG, and that explosion is what stops Vin Diesel from dying from the collapsing parking garage. Here's the mechanics you need to run that kind of story. Are you looking to do something in between? Here are the these are the mechanics that you need to run this kind of story. If you're looking for something of all of this, here's a super simple bare minimum, and then you just plug in what mechanics you want to use from each column. Which cool. Again, it's the game is built and the game is written in a way of the director is presenting this superhero story and the players are playing those heroes.
Yeah.
Each session is an episode of that season and is even framed that way. Here's episode 1. Here's a 2-part episode, series. Here's a 5-part, story arc. And it's, again, included in the book of, if you're looking for a story arc section, here are beats that you can use to build up to. Here are the stat blocks for things. So all you have to fill in is, you know, what they appear to be, what their aesthetic is, how many enemies are there, and you've got a whole story arc already ready for you to run for 5 sessions, ready to go. And so doing that really helped with building that tone and theme guidelines for Vocarium being a much darker and heavier game by comparison.
Yeah. What was the timeline in you making Heroes? Was it like, I try to get how much inspiration from you playing Power Rangers?
I haven't stopped playing Power Rangers.
Oh, so you're still running Power Rangers? Is it still going? Oh my god!
Not Arcanites. Arcanites ended in 2024. But I have Power Rangers Solaris Voyagers that goes live next month. I've got Morphing Grid University, which is a West Marches campaign style series that features recruits, cadets, and rangers at the Power Ranger Multiversal Training Academy. I am the Power Rangers guy for a reason.
Yeah. So how much did you take anything from the Power Rangers RPG into Heroes?
No. This is more based off of Kamen Rider and a separate tokusatsu than Super Sentai, which became Power Rangers, but nonetheless still masked hero fights monster, saves the day kind of story. I had originally started working on this with a former friend. We're no longer interacting on personal decisions and personal choices, unfortunately. But both of us were very big Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Tokusatsu fans. And the Power Rangers game came out. What about Kamen Rider? Like, that would be so cool to do a Kamen Rider game. We should do this. And I love writing. I love working on mechanics. I love bringing to life the games that my friends want to play, because I want to play more games with my friends.
Right.
And so I started working on it, and I was like, hey, here's the first idea. Here's the first, run through of everything. And they're like, oh yeah, that's super cool. And I was like, yeah. So what thing do you want to work on with it? And then no response. All right, well then I'm going to work on this. I'm just going to start working on the next step. Oh, hey, here's the next step. Oh, this looks super cool. All right. Do you want to work on the radio? Okay, well then I'll just work on the next step. And eventually other aspects came into play. We're no longer in contact, but I still love Kamen Rider. I still love Tokusatsu. So I was like, I've basically already written the entire game. I already wrote it. So I'm just gonna put it out there. It's just getting released. And had such a good response from the community, from other people on the internet. Randomly, somebody posted about it on TikTok.
People?
Oh internet God. People.
What? They're out there?
Somebody got a copy of the book, purchased a copy of the book, and posted about it on TikTok. And it didn't go like viral. It wasn't super big, but enough people then reached out to me and were like, hey, did you write this thing? And I was like, well, does it say Arclight Court Games at the bottom? Because if it says that, then yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh, somebody posted about it, and a bunch of people are really interested. Like, they want to see more of it. In less than 24 hours, I sold an additional 200 copies of the book just from that one person's video. And so I reached out to them. I signed a copy. I have Power Rangers trading cards. I have Kamen Rider trading cards from the 90s, early 2000s. I sent him all of that with a big old thank you letter. It was like, I appreciate it. But also, we very close friend of mine, Danny, CG Danny, did a word for raising money.
Fundraiser?
Yes, community fundraiser for Extra Life. Charity fundraiser for Extra Life. Last year. And their goal was, I think, $2,000 to raise for it. They did a 24-hour stream doing all sorts of games and things of that nature. And I reached out to him while they were doing it, and I was like, hey, if you guys meet your goal, I'll write an expansion onto the Heroes book, and I'll give out 100 copies of it for free. I'll give out 100 digital copies for free if you guys reach your goal. I sent that message. 3 minutes later, they reached that goal. And he was like, well, get to writing, Arc, because we're going to be better way here.
Those figures better be diapers.
All right, let's go. So I finished putting all of that together, and then it was, we're raising money. We're doing charity. All right, you guys are awake. It's 3:00 in the morning. I'm going to write it out with you. If you hit double your goal, I'll run a Power Rangers one shot for everybody who's been a part of the stream and do that. An hour later, it was 4:00 in the morning for me, and they doubled their goal. And I was like, now I got to run a Power Rangers one shot, and I got to give away 100 copies of an expansion of this. But we got to start scheduling this. I'm free in like March, I think. We could probably do something. We could do that. I'll have the book done by the end of December, but I will give away the book during the one shot, and we'll do. It was a whole thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah, it's been scary, I think. It's not the right word for it. It's more like anxiety, more nervousness about writing and releasing and just following my own advice I give to my friends. Well, but at the same time, it's been extremely fulfilling.
Yeah, it's like, it's tough, like as a designer and creator, it's tough because it's you don't know until it's someone else has experienced it.
Yep.
And so you're just like, oh, you like this? Cool.
Awesome. Okay. Yes.
Well, yeah, I spent a lot of time on it, but you don't need to worry about that. But I'm
don't
glad
worry
you
about
like
the time I spent on it. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you even liked one sentence in it.
Yeah.
I spent 4 hours deciding if that comma should be there or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, because it's, oh my gosh, for being such like in the TTRPG space, it's such a social thing, but as a creator of it, it's such an isolating thing.
Yes.
Just like,
yes,
I am in my room by myself, just like, well,
I, at one point in time, working on Vocarium in specific, would only do voice notes of my ideas and what I was writing, because I didn't want to sit in my office by myself writing it. I would record voice notes of ideas and then send them to like my email or send them to my cloud storage or something of that nature.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go into my office until I had 10 or more voice notes or 10 minutes worth of voice notes to write. And then that would be, okay, this is all I'm working on. I'm not going to go past this. Smart. I'm not going to look at anything before this. I'm just going to work on this chunk here.
Yeah.
Because if I go and sit in my office, for me, completely separate unit from my home, completely separated from everything else on my property. My office is its own standalone little space. If I go in here, there are no windows. I don't know if the sun has come up or gone down. I don't know if it is raining or if it is snowing. I don't know what is going on outside. I am just writing. I won't know how long I've been in here. But if I put a limit to it and I go, okay, 10 minutes worth of voice notes or 10 voice notes, I go in and I just work on that. And then after, I think what I was doing was every 5 work sessions.
Yeah.
Then I would take all of that and I'd edit that and I'd proofread that and I'd make sure it was, flowed correctly, punctuation was correct, orientation on the page was correct.
Right.
Blocking, does the chart that I put in here, does that fit to the page for when I send it to be printed? Is it going to fit within the margins? Okay. And then once I was done with that, put that in a folder. Don't look at it until next editing day. And then just keep working in those blocks. Otherwise, I don't know what day it is. I don't know how long I've been in here. I probably haven't used the bathroom at all. But there are 32 Monster cans around me, and I've listened to the same album probably 15 times over at this point.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a really cool strategy to have like the voice memos.
And if you have I use LibreOffice, a free open source document writing program. I can drag the audio, the voice memo into there, and it will transcribe it for me. And then, of course, go in and go, okay, no, I know this is a made-up word. Let me write in the made-up word that doesn't exist in a dictionary and fix that. But that helps break the monotony of doing this for hours and hours and hours, and then looking and going, I wrote 1 page. And that but I feel like I've done so much. I wrote so much, but it's only taking up so much space on this document here. No. That was 10 minutes worth of words you spoke into your phone, on the drive, on the freeway, sitting in traffic, and you had this full thought process go through.
Yeah, I've written whole games on my phone when I'm just driving. When I do long commutes for like conventions and stuff, I just go in my notes app, and then Google Keyboard has their microphone thing. And I just do that. And it just types it out. And I'm like, all right, I got 3 games written.
and they're ready to go. I'm going to use the printer at the hotel. I'm going to buy all of this different colored paper before we get there, though, because I want it on all of these different colored paper.
No one told me before I started making games that I would be so into paper. I have so many different colored paper
and like stocks and thickness.
And now when I go to conventions and I go check out people's new books, I just touch the page. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
No. Is this 45-pound pressed white? You could have gotten the same exact look on 75-pound pressed parchment, and it would have been cheaper and it would have looked nicer.
Get this out of my sight.
Better. The aesthetics matter. But no, now with like that working system in place, I can, when I'm looking at what I've written, I know now that was 10 minutes worth of creating on that page altogether. I'm no longer pulling at myself because I type slower than other people, or I don't type as fast as others. That was 10 minutes worth of ideas, just pure creative font, just going. And now I can go, okay, this section goes to the magic system, so I'll just grab that, throw it over to the magic system folder.
Right.
This section is a whole new thing, so let's make sure everything we need for that's in here. We can now organize and lay all of that out, and okay, now it looks like so much more than just 10, 15 lines on a single, Word document.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the biggest things is like, you just have to get the words on the page and then you can do stuff with it. But like the hardest thing is just like some people, I've seen some people on like threads or whatever, they're like, how do you get started? I'm like, you just slap the keyboard.
Yeah.
And then edit that.
100%. 100%. And even if you don't want to slap the keyboard, just yell at your phone and then just put that in translate and use that.
Yeah.
If you yelled Avatar The Last Airbender meets marble gameplay.
Oh.
Hey,
I already got ideas now.
You see, like your mind is already moving at this point. But now it's already written. It's already the first lines are already there. Now you're just building off of those first lines.
Yeah. When you think about writing stuff, do you how this is a tricky question. What do you think, like, do you think mechanically first, or are you like, let me get the story narrative down, or is it kind of just
it's a weird mismatch of both at the lowest level. I'm not thinking of the planet, I'm thinking of the town. And I'm not thinking of the 9th level spell, I'm thinking of magic. Now, how does this work? And then I just build from there out. Unless I have a genuine already like hyperfixation of, I have years worth of knowledge on this lore of this world and this thing. Now I just have to make dice make sense to this. Let's go. Mechanics all day. I'm just going to spend 2.5 hours figuring out whether dice pool versus bell curve RNG for D6s is better for this. Which one am I going to use? Neither. I'm going to make my own. Okay, so we're doing D8s. We're doing this. We're going this way. Probably.
Yeah, when I think about like what mechanics I want to use, I envision like I step back and think of like, okay, I have brought this to my table of friends. What does the scene look like? How do I want them to interact with the world? That kind of thing.
Where are they? Where are they? My favorite thing that works for me, I'll preface it by saying it works for me, so I won't say that this is a catch-all fix-all for everyone, everything. I think I used my last bit of them. We will please have some in here. Nope, those are legally distinct trading cards of capturing monsters for your pocket. We're not going to use those. Index cards.
Yeah.
If I can teach someone how to play the game using an index, using just the space on an index card, the game's ready to go. If I could teach someone how to make a character and they can fit everything that they need at level 1 or starting character, size on an index card, the game's ready to go. If I can fit the rules that the player needs to know in order to play the game on an index card, game's ready to go.
Yeah.
GM curator, if I'm running the game, if I've made the game, I'm not worried about me. Because I can simplify all of the simplification for the players to teach someone else. I can teach someone else how to run this game faster than I could teach someone to play the game. Because everyone who wants to run Dungeons and Dragons, everyone who wants to run Kids on Bikes, everyone who wants to run Monster of the Week, Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade, the people who want to run the games already have the story in mind.
That's true. Yep.
They just need to know the mechanics to make it make sense. What numbers make this work? What dice make this work? What table do I need to check to know if this works or not? Most game masters, storytellers, lore keepers, whatever aspirant title you want to give to people who run these games is, they already have the story. They already have the idea. The fiction is already there. Now we just got to put the math there.
Yeah. I like the phrase, you already have the story. That's a really good phrase. I'm writing it down.
Go for it. It's all yours. You can have it.
You want another phrase that I really enjoyed that I've heard from somebody?
Yes.
Your games are not just yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear God, yes. And not just from a game design aspect either, and not just from beer and pretzels at home, homebrew, fully created world that you play with your friends. This goes far to every aspect of this: actual plays, podcasts, game design and creation, production, publishing, writing. Your game is not just yours. If I come to you and I tell you about the really cool thing that happened in my 5th edition homebrew world, a rule that I mentioned from my thing doesn't make sense to you because you guys never used that rule. So what do you mean you could drink a potion as a bonus action, and that's when you had to roll the dice, but if you used your action to drink a potion, you got the full amount of whatever a potion could heal you? You know, what do you mean that's how that... Because that's your game. Your rules. And this is my game and my rules. But we're playing the same game. It's not just mine. You could take this rule and use it in your thing. You could take this sentence and apply it to your world. I have made so many spells for 5th edition. It is disgusting. I could have my own spell book, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, for things I've made for players or players have made in my games, and put it out there. Because it's not just my game. It's not just your game. This is all of ours. The audience for APs, the listeners for podcasts.
It's that meta world where we once you become a player or just experience the thing, it has now become your thing. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my God. Yes.
We should do philosophy design talks.
Oh my God, there's so much to that. And I'm even looking at it from AP performer and showrunner aspect of it as well, as when I'm putting together a series or I'm participating in a series, it's not just my game. I am a part of this game, but this isn't just for me. This also isn't just for the other people in the cast. This also isn't just for the GM or DM or lore keeper. This is also for every person in the audience. This is for every person who's tuning in and taking these hours out of their life to watch or listen to this story. This is also theirs. They're investing just as much into this as we are, performing, creating, enacting, rolling the dice, interpreting all of that in that same aspect. Oh, I love that sentence so much. That one I'm keeping. That one.
You can keep that one. Yeah, it's so good. Also, the chat is conspiring against you. They told me not to tell you, but
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah. Look, what I can say is, from everything you all have written in chat there, I thankfully could release all of those spells, magic items, things that were created for 5th edition, because that OGL still exists. Which will lend us to another great, wonderful topic, is I created my own creative gaming license for all of my stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
It's called the Lighthouse Creative Gaming License. It allows third-party creators, whether content creators, game designers, writers, publishers, artists, whatever that may be, the opportunity to make their own supplements, adventures, derivative works, anything of that nature, and they retain full ownership of that content. Yeah. I will never claim to own it. I will never claim that it is a part of mine, that they need to give me a royalty, that they need to anything of that nature. All I ask from people who create using any of the games that I have created is just reference them back for core rules.
Yeah.
To say, hey, this is if you really like Vocarium, here are pre-generated characters and lists of words and intentions that you can tie to it. Here's a new combat mechanic that you could implement to your game if you wanted to. If you're into Vocarium.
Yeah.
And they go, well, what's Vocarium? Oh, you get that book over there. But if you want my book, you can get my book right here. And I'm all for it. Get your money, make your money. I want people to succeed. A rising tide raises all ships. All I ask is you tell them, if you're looking for the core rules, just get the book, the core book over here.
I feel like I have to do that with my games because, like, to me, in my brain, I'm like, you can just do that. Like, in my brain, I'm like, why has no one done that to my games? Oh, maybe because I haven't like specified that.
Haven't said that you can. and that conversation was a big turning point for me as well with making games and making things, because during all of that with the OGL, I was going to release my homebrew world. My world of Lyransol, and it was all 5e stuff with custom races, classes, spells, background options, feats, all from this homebrew world that we made from using every book that was made for 5th edition. And then all of that stuff happened in 2020, 2021 about the OGL. And I immediately was like, well, nope, not happening. Yeah. So if I ever make my own game, I'm going to make sure that if you want to make something of this, you want to create your own off of this, you want to do something, build off of this as a foundation, I am not going to try and take it away from you. You try, you do it. Everybody deserves a chance to try. And even if it fails, it fails, but it doesn't mean that you're a failure. Maybe this wasn't the foundation you needed to use. Maybe this is helping you create your own foundation to make your own game. You don't need to use mine. You can build and create your own.
Yeah. I think also what some people don't realize is, like, it's okay to take pieces. Like, that's what we take pieces.
There's not a single person who I've met in any creative space that has ever gone, everything in my thing is 100% wholly original. It is all me. It is no influence by anything else in the world, by any media.
I live in a vacuum.
I live in an echo chamber of just myself, and that is it. I don't listen to the radio. I don't know people.
I don't know people.
I've never seen
I don't know. No one has seen me in 20 years.
Prove no that one's to me, known about maybe me. I'll believe you.
I was never born.
I have never existed, nor do I exist in this conversation. Everybody takes something from everything. Everybody is building or creating off of something that has already been or has existed.
Yeah. Games are not just yours.
Completely. I will say, though, there is a very important clause and section that I did build into the Lighthouse Creative Gaming license, which is you cannot use any of my games to create or promote hate speech, violence, discrimination, to target or demean protected groups, violate the law, or promote unlawful activity. If you do that, then I have every legal right to tell you to get your game off of the internet and out of wherever you're trying to sell it.
That's smart.
If you want to be cool and awesome and make games that are accessible for everybody and tell really cool stories, let's do it. You want to use my games to be a horrible human being? I'm going to tell you can't.
Ooh, yeah.
Not allowed to.
Not allowed. Wow, this has been a great time. We're at 2 hours though, so it's been long, but it's been really great. We had a great chat. They're super excited. You got great people with you.
I am so appreciative of every single person who has shown up tonight, including myself, because I don't show myself enough positive reinforcement, and I'm working on that. D-Twab, we will talk about this on a not recorded stream. I appreciate it, D-Twab. You are the best.
All right, do we want to close things up for tonight?
Yeah. We'll wrap up there.
Give us what projects you got coming? What's the oh no.
You're interested in getting copies of Pocket World Anthology or Heroes, a Tokusatsu TTRPG, you could do so at arclightcourt.com. Vocarium coming soon. Of course, we are looking to reach our Ko-Fi goal of getting 100 physical hardbound copies in order to give those away immediately afterwards, just to get the printing started on it.
What's the money you're trying to get?
So we're trying to reach $3,200, and that is to get the 100 physical copies, shipping, handling, plus the specifications to the cover design, the paper, because paper, and printing of everything. So much. We've got Morphing Grid University, Power Rangers Solaris Voyagers, as I've mentioned, 2 Power Ranger series that are going to be on my channel, twitch.tv/Arclight Court, starting next month. We've got Blood and Cinders, where I play a vampire barbarian. The Path of the Lead Coffin, custom reinterpretation of a barbarian path, on every other Thursday on Eclipse 613's channel. I've got a Vocarium miniseries that's going to be going on here in the next few weeks. It'll be a 3-episode miniseries. We will be exploring these ideas of philosophy and understanding of the words and the power of words in the world. I'm writing a soul, not Soul
Another thing? Stop.
Soul Reaver TTRPG that will be running on the channel, called Severance, where you play a severed one, a vampire who was cast out by their cabals into the abyss, and then awoken wielding an armament of requital, looking to restore their soul or restore their immortal body, and make that decision as they progress forward. I am always working on something. You can always find me on my channel, twitch.tv/Arclight Court, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm either working on a game, playing Marvel Rivals with all of the homies as breaks in between all of the games,
Nice.
or running a whole bunch of games because I like telling cool stories with all the amazing people in my life. Shout out to Eclipse 613, Holly Crown Evie, Red Panda Cola, Official Pie Guy, Story Continued, Shadow Dow, so many, Gene Wolfire, Samurai, Detwa, Shy, Novra, Vampire Himbo, Keith Asada, all of the amazing people I've gotten to share space with, tell stories with, create games with. I wouldn't be able to accomplish and do the things that I do without all of you, and you guys lift me up in all of the best ways and help me be grounded. And above all and above everything else, shout out to my wife, Arclight Court. Without her, none of this would be possible because I would be a shell of a human being. I love that woman with all of my heart, life, and soul, and would do anything for her at the drop of a dime. That's it. That's all I got.
That's great. Yeah. No, we're posting this when you win your awards and stuff for Vocarium and stuff.
Shout out Ray. Shout out the Ray Wilds. We need to talk about that other game that you're working on, but I'm also I'm helping you work on my homies.
Sweet. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been an amazing chat. I'm Jordan. My next thing is Food and Evil is out now on BackerKit. You can go check it out. Play as demons running a food truck. We're playing every Monday this month on stream here, so check it out. Have a good time. A lot of silly stuff. Not philosophical whatsoever.
You could find some philosophy between demons running a food truck and a lot of other things.
I make games for when your brain is putty and you don't want to do too much. You're like, I just want to go over there. I want to make a sandwich.
I want to know what dice I would have to roll to get a foot rub right now. That's what I want. That's what I need.
That's really good. Yeah.
Just pick a dice and throw it. You get a foot rub.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.